Hi guys, thanks for joining me. It is Thursday afternoon, May 5th, and I am here just with a couple of quick tips on some new ink pads. My name is Betty Sakosha. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 2 decades, and I am the team leader for the Power of Positive Inking team. Hello, Donna. Thanks for joining me. These are just a couple of quick tips on some new ink pads. You might have new ink pads coming, and I'll talk about it in just a second. The brand new catalog just became active, live, whatever you want to call it, dropped, I guess, on Tuesday of this week, so on May 3rd. So with every new catalog, with every new annual catalog, Stampin' Up! Comes out with 5 new, what they call in colors, so kind of trending colors in the industry. And those colors will be around for 2 years. So the 5 colors this year will be around for 2 years. The 5 colors that came last year will be around this year and next year, so on and so forth. Some of the colors actually make they become a family, they become part of all of our colors. But for most of the in colors, they last for 2 years, and we love them while they're here. In any case, you may have some new colors that you are very interested in, and I just wanted to remind you about a couple of things with new ink pads. So I'm going to flip you down and chat. Alrighty. There we go. Let me just scooch you there. Okay, so the new ink pad colors this year are called Starry Sky, Orchid Opulence, Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet, and Parakeet Party. I keep calling this soft sorbet. My kids used to work in an ice cream store, and they kept saying, you cannot put sherbet or sorbet on an ice cream cone. Anyway, so I keep calling it soft sorbet, sweet sorbet. Tahitian Tide, if you are from the olden days and you had Tempting Turquoise, it is very, very close in color. So you might be able to utilize some of your old paper or ink pads to coordinate with some of the new things with that. And Sweet Sorbet is sort of along the lines of Watermelon Wonder, which was out a couple of years ago. Other than that, these other colors are kind of new and unto themselves. Parakeet Party is a very bright green. I am loving it. I'm actually not even a green fan, and I am loving it. Orchid Oasis, it could be my favorite, and Starry Sky. So I just wanted to remind you that when new ink pads come out, there's a couple things that I want to advise you on. So one of them is actually opening up the ink pad. So when the new ink pads come out, these are our Stampin' Up! Ink pads. These have been around for a couple of years now, this design, and they're a little bit challenging maybe at the beginning to open up. So let me show you how. You kind of pop this here, and then the ink pad, so can you see the ink lies face down normally. It stores face down. And the reason for that is all the ink is right on the top of the pad, and that way when you're ready to stamp, you got maximum ink on the top of your pad. So you flip it over like that and then slide it in. Now what I wanted to tell you is that at the beginning, these are very, very difficult to slide in and out. Very difficult. And as such, in trying to do that, a lot of times you end up with inkier fingers than necessary. So let me give you a helpful hint on trying to fix that problem. So I'm just using a votive candle here. It's just a regular wax votive candle. You can use a little birthday candle, anything like that. But we're just going to wax the inside treads here. The treads, is that the right word? I don't know what the word is. These inside lines here. So I'm just going to run my candle back and forth on the top one and the bottom one, just back and forth a few times. And now I'm going to, off camera, kind of blow off all the excess wax. So ooh, some of it ended up in my ink pad. All right, bonus, I can show you what to do with that. If you get any wax or, for instance, glitter or anything like that, you can use a lint brush. Just roll right over it, and it's going to pick it up. All right, now, this brings me to my next situation that I want to tell you. Can you see how foamy that is? There's a lot going on there. All right, I'm going to get to that in just a second. Let me just show you how much better this works. So now with the wax that I put in here, it opens much, much easier, which is going to make things easier for you. Okay, I'm going to get to that foamy stuff in just a minute. So let me close this and give you this advice. Okay, on the back of all Stampin' Up! Ink pads, they have a variety of little stickers you can put on. So it comes in English, French, and I'm thinking German. I think German. Orchid Oasis is the English name. Oasis de Orchids. Okay, I'm totally making that up. I took French for 6 years and have no idea, but I think that's how you would say that. And then Orchidinalina. Actually, I have no idea. I took German for no years. And then there's a couple of blank ones. So let me show you how you would utilize these in your craft room. Okay, I peel them off. Whatever comes off, comes off. These I'm going to just tuck to the side because I am going to utilize those in a minute. So I want the English version of this. I'm going to peel this off. If you don't have nails, but you do have a picky tool, this is Stampin' Up's, what do we call this? Pick a tool. It's got a variety of different tools, but you can use this picky thing here to pick that off. Now the front of the ink pad is where I want to put the name. The reason for that is if I am storing a bunch of ink pads, I am not going to be able to tell which one I'm pulling off the shelf. So I want to put the name right along the side here. Whoops. I literally just put my ink pad, fell right in my trash can. Okay, so I'm going to put the name Orchid Oasis, making sure it's in the correct direction, right along the bottom of the ink pad. And that way I can see, for instance, I already did a couple others of these, so I'll be able to see what my ink color is and pull out the correct one. And it does not affect opening the pad. Okay, the next place that you can put this is inside of the pad. There's a little well here, and the good folks at Stampin' Up! Have provided you with a couple of extra blank ones. So I'm going to peel off one of the blank ones. There we go. Like this. And I'm going to put it right in this well. So I'll try and zoom you to show you what I'm doing here. But it's just putting a sticker in. You just want to be careful because it's a little bit difficult to get in there. And even more difficult to get out. So there we go. Okay, so that's in there like so. The reason you do that is because when I open several ink pads, I know you're thinking, but Betty, you would know the difference in these colors. Maybe you would, but if you're in the middle of a project, maybe you wouldn't. But get a load of this. You would definitely not notice the difference between these two colors. But here I can see that this one is a lighter color. This is the Orchid Opulence, and this is the Starry Sky. So the more color that you have on here, the more chance that you will not stamp in the wrong pad, because it happens. There are a couple of extras. Some people I know like to actually add one more on the other end in case they put the ink pad, in case the ink pad gets stored in that direction, or one right along the top, which is again helpful when you're stamping, particularly if you're stamping with some friends. It just reminds them in two different places, this is the color you're about to stamp into. Okay, now, the other thing that I wanted to tell you about is when you get new ink pads, they are super juicy, which is fantastic, but sometimes also a problem. The reason it's a problem, I'll show you. So I'm going to use Bottled Happiness, one of the new fantastic stamp sets in the new catalog. I'm going to use this image of this jug. I think it's a jug, a bottle jug. I feel like if it's squat enough, you call it a jug. I feel like that's a bottle, that's a jug. In any case, I'm using the squat one, and I want to stamp it. But I want you to see, can you see how much ink is on there? Can you see the ink pad, how foamy that is? So let me show you what happens if I were to stamp it right now, just like that. It is like too saturated, very blotchy, not a good look. Not the look Stampin' Up! Intended, not the look I want you to get. But rather than to take like a paper towel or a rag or whatever and wipe some ink off, I recommend using a plastic spoon or any plastic thing. It could be like an old gift card, anything like that. And what you want to do, I don't know if you can, you probably can't really see, but basically what I'm doing is pushing the ink back down into the ink pad because I don't want it right on the top. I want it to be, I want a really good image. And in order to get that, I'm going to push the ink out just slightly, and then I'm going to stamp again. And I want you to see the difference in these two images. So this one has a lot of clarity to it. This one is totally blotchy and clearly not good. So that is a great way to, or a tip that you might need. Maybe you don't need it, but if you're finding that your image is not coming out crisp, go ahead and try and do that. Try and push the ink in a little bit, and I think you'll have better luck with that. Okay, one quick thing I wanted to tell you about is that Stampin' Up! Is offering a special until the end of March. It's called the In Color Starter Kit Special, and it includes all 5 new ink pads, the new ink colors. It includes a package of assorted cardstock in the same colors. Look at those babies together. Whoa! So much color. I love it. And then Stampin' Up! Has a new, they have these in every color family. So it's an assorted pack of designer paper. So it's got images on both sides. So it's got polka dots and beautiful plaid, as well as stripes and, stripes and flowers. And they come in each of the new in colors. They have one of these for every color family. So last year's in colors, subtles, regals, brights, and neutrals. But the special that is running this month is that you can get all of the new ink pads, the assorted paper, and this package of assorted designer paper, all for free with your, if you decide that you want to get a starter kit. So the starter kit is $99. You pick out $125 worth of anything you want in the new catalog. You get a free paper pumpkin, which is an all-inclusive crafting kit. You get one of those, as well as all of these in-color things are included in the kit. So it's somewhere around $200. I think like $196. I didn't really do the math, but it's somewhere around $196 for just $99, which is a real bargain. So if you're interested in that, please contact myself or your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and she will absolutely take care of you. Let me flip you down and just sign off here. Whoops, that's my room. That's not what I wanted you to see. Let me see. Let me flip you around. There we go. And sign off. If you do have any questions on anything you saw today, please feel free to reach out and I will be happy to answer this for you. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you again. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.